Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we crack open the financial secrets of companies. And let me tell you, this latest filing from SEI Investments has some boardroom musical chairs and a bit of a shakeup. Today we're diving into a report that tells us about big changes at the top, specifically focusing on who's joining and who's leaving the board of directors. It's like a corporate chess game, and we're here to figure out the next moves. Before we jump in, if you love getting straight description. So the big news starts with the director, Stephanie D. Miller, saying goodbye. She handed in her resignation on July 16th, and the company formally accepted it a few days later on July 21st. Now, they made sure to tell us it wasn't because of any big disagreements about how the company is run, its rules, or its day-to-day business. It sounds like a clean break, but you always wonder what's really going on behind the scenes of these things. But it's not all about people leaving, because on July 22nd, the company quickly filled those gaps. The board decided to keep the total number of directors at 9 and brought in 2 new faces, Thomas C. Naratil and Karen I. Risi. These new directors are joining for terms that will end in 2026 and 2028 respectively. So they are in for the medium to longer term. Now, where do these new folks fit in? Thomas Naratil is heading to the Audit Committee and the Legal and Regulatory Oversight Committees. This is pretty important because the Audit Committee is all about making sure the company's financial reports are accurate and that they're following all the rules. Being on the Legal and Regulatory Oversight Committee means he'll be involved in making sure the company stays on the right side of the law and regulations. That paints a picture of where the company might be focusing its attention internally. Karen Risi, on the other hand, is joining the Compensation Committee and the Nominating and Governance Committees. The Compensation Committee deals with how the top executives are paid, which is always an interesting area to watch for any company. The Nominating and Governance Committee is all about selecting new board members and making sure the company is being run with good governance practices, which means how the company is managed and overseen. And of course, with new board roles come new incentives. Both Mr. Naratil and Ms. Risi are getting 2,076 restricted stock units, or RSUs, for the company's stock. These are basically promises to give them stock in the future, but they have to wait for it. These RSUs will be handed out bit by bit over 3 years, with a chunk vesting each year, as long as they are still serving as directors. This is a pretty standard way for companies to make sure their new directors are invested in the company's long-term success. Think of it as them earning their shares over time, aligned with their commitment to the company. The report also states there are no special deals or agreements between these new directors and anyone else that would make them get on the board. And importantly, there are no past or current business dealings that need to be publicly disclosed because they might be a conflict of interest. This is standard procedure to show that their appointments are purely based on their qualifications and the needs of the board. And to wrap up this part, they filed a press release that came out on July 22nd, officially announcing these new appointments. This usually means the company is trying to let the public and investors know about these significant board changes. Now, they also listed exhibits attached to this report. The main one here, Exhibit 99.1, is that press release we just talked about, detailing the appointments of Thomas C. Naratil and Karen A. Risi. Think of it as the official announcement that confirms all the details we just discussed. And finally, the report is signed off on July 22nd by Sean J. Denham, who holds the titles of Chief Financial Officer and Chief Operating Officer. This signature basically means that a top executive is confirming that everything stated in this report is accurate and has been properly authorized by the company. So what's the big picture here? SEI Investments is making some deliberate moves to refresh its board of directors. Bringing in new people with specific committee assignments suggests the company is focusing on areas like financial oversight, regulatory compliance, executive compensation, and governance. The fact that the new members are receiving restricted stock that vests over time shows a commitment to long-term alignment between the directors and the company's performance. While this filing doesn't give us a deep dive into the company's financials themselves, these leadership changes are a crucial indicator of the company's strategic direction and its commitment to good corporate practices. It's worth keeping an eye on how these new directors influence the company's decisions and future performance, especially in those key committees they've joined. Alright, that's our breakdown of SEI's latest board changes. What's your take on these appointments and what they might signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description for more conversations. Thanks for watching. See you next time.